It's hard being a woman. I mean, as a woman for myself, I can't speak for all, but if you identify, comment below, check mark or a smiley face. Listen, I realize as being a woman that when I look back into my past, oh, what burdens I was bearing. I was not only bearing the burdens of my own, but yet others as well. You know, my troubles alone was enough to have been about volume 8,000 in a book series, okay? But the truth of the matter is that we as women, we hold in a lot. We are truly super woman. We bear so much on our shoulder, but yet we carry this smile of ease, is the essence of the world of saying it's okay, it's all right, you know, peace within me. But I truly want to share that when I reflect and look back in my life, man, it was God who brought me out from. It was times where I still sit back and ponder and be like, how did I get out from that? You know, but it is by the grace of God. In emphasis, I'm going to share something with all of you. You know, I came from domestic violence at a very tender young age. I was married young, and I had 2 children out of that marriage. And the first child that I had, you know, I knew after basically 6 to 8 months that this was a no-go. But by my low self-esteem, by my lack, by my upbringing that I felt all along, I didn't have a tribe. I sincerely have not. I did not have a tribe to guide and lead me to say that you can be whatever you want to be, or the sky is the limit. It's up to you to choose that for your destiny. I never was poured into. I felt like I was always talked down and against. So I have been through some troubling times in my life where I never thought that I'll come out and see the light of day. But only again, by the grace of God, I've been through domestic violence. And it was a horrible experience. Yet, I look back and I say, it is only by God's grace that I endured it. I had a gun put to my head in a temple saying, call my mother in the middle of the night. And she's asking me what's wrong. And I just reluctantly wanted to tell her the pains of which I was harvesting, to just go back and rest. It's okay. I just wanted to say, I love you. I had been through so much that when I left to go to the shelter, not ever being out from where I was from, it's like 10 miles seemed like a million. So as I was leaving, made my mind up for the final time, because I went and came back several times in a relationship, to the point where I said enough is enough. I don't deserve this, especially when I'm not doing anything to come against you or to do anything but try to be a wife, which I never knew how to be, but yet I respected you in this relationship. So when time came, I left. And I'm telling the truth, I left with some baby formula, a bottle, a few items in a duffel bag. No, it wasn't a duffel bag. In a backpack, in a backpack, and my Bible. Now, at that time, I didn't have a relationship with Jesus. It was just something that I knew that I needed to take with me. It was like a sixth sense, if that makes sense. A sixth sense that I needed him. but I didn't quite grasp it. So I can remember this dark, lonely train ride leaving from Chicago to the basic next town, where I call not far away, 45 minutes to an hour away, in Waukegan. They had a shelter open that would accept me and my children. So I went there. And on that train ride, it felt like that 45 minutes turned into a century. And as I looked around me, everybody was on that train ride, was so giddy and happy in their day. And it felt like I was dying. And I would remember saying, I wish I was them. I wish I was them. This pain is so too much. I can remember I had to ask my daughter that was 5 at the time. My baby was just a newborn. When I say brand new, you can still smell the newness on her. That's how brand new she was. And I had to rely on my 5-year-old daughter to hold her, to give me a break from my arm that was swollen on each side from switching sides of holding her. Even though she was a precious little baby, but she still had a little weight. And at that time, I was much thinner. And so I needed to give my arm some rest, because I carried her to the train station, and it was a little hike from the bus and all of that. And just to get to the final, destination to go to the next city, it was rough. It was rough. So, as my daughter was holding her sister, I could remember feeling so much shame, so much sorrow. And I guess I started really in the middle of this story, because I didn't know how to share this story. So I guess I'm going to reflect now back to go forward, if y'all allow me to, and be patient. I'll be back. Part 2.